This is major disrespect to an OG dunk colorway from the 1985 Be True to Your School campaign. This is the Syracuse Orange Blaze Dunk High Wmns. But dunks are like pizza. Even bad pizza tastes good. The leather quality is unimpressive and leaves more to be desired. It definitely isn't Nike's best. It's take this material made out of whatever combination of leather and not leather and turn it into a dunk. Because if this is real leather, that's just sad. Colorway-wise, not much beats this color blocking and color choice. Orange and white is a good combination, but blocking has enough contrast with a white and a color. There are many teams and schools with a white and a color combination. The tech. It's a rubber cup sole. As far as I know, that's almost as basic as it gets. There is also no ventilation with this shoe. Your feet will get warm and they will start to sweat. Insole. I'm not sure of its longevity, but if it begins to become uncomfortable, it is almost a given where one would have to buy a pair of insoles to achieve some form of comfort. Laces. They might be sort of retro since I have a pair of Puma Palace Guard OG lows and they use this style of lace where you can puff it up if you squeeze it. It is a nice touch if it is meant to be retro. The tongue is nylon. It's lightly padded and stiff. It'll keep its shape more or less, but it's not as comfortable. The tag is a regular Nike logo. Outsole. Same thing, regular Nike logo. The traction pattern differs slightly from an Air Jordan 1. The fit is meh for a size 8 men/9.5 women's. It fits similarly to a men's Air Jordan 1, but I think this is slightly narrower since I have the women's version of the Dunk. My Air Jordan 1 lows don't fit this narrow and it wasn't comfortable at first. I feel it on where the orange is towards the toe. I don't recommend wearing thin socks unless you have a normal or narrow width foot. I'm saying this due to the uncomfortable and cheap materials that are used. A thicker sock will provide more cushion from a crummy material, so you don't have to feel too much of the shoe, but it will affect the fit possibly. Lengthwise, they fit. If I went with an 8.5 men's, I would be swimming in the shoes. I've never owned high tops before, so I laced them similarly to a low cut. It's a bit loose, so I would probably lace them up higher if I'm wearing them for a long time. But low cut lacing just works for convenience for me. I would probably use shorter white laces for this shoe to cut down on the length of the stock laces at this cut. The white probably would make them pop even more. Even a black lace may look good, especially if you take these to a San Francisco Giants game. The box is just a red or red-orange Nike sportswear box. It's nothing special. It just means it's not meant for performance. It's a casual shoe. Let's move on to the craftsmanship and quality control issues that this pair of sneakers has. When I first got them in hand, I thought that the leather was stiff and not pliable at all. They disrespected one of the OG college colorways from the 1985 Be True to Your School campaign with this release. Not only the materials aren't great, the craftsmanship is like, what in Sans Hill is going on here? The right shoe looks okay and fairly symmetrical, but the left shoe has issues. This honestly deserves to be a B grade. Look at the toe ran of the left shoe. Compare it to the right. It looks lopsided. Like you see more of the white on the left shoe and the orange toe ran doesn't look symmetrically placed on this shoe. It looks like the orange toe ran was cut incorrectly or it was stitched where the orange sunk too much into the rubber cup sole. I believe the craftsmanship issues are caused by how the orange parts were stitched to the white parts. This whole base of the white went wrong, so it exacerbates how the orange pieces are attached. Even the insides of the shoes feel different. I could feel the lip of the edges on the interior on the right shoe, but I can't with the left. It's weird. Now let's take a look at the back. The right side looks fairly good with the exception of the back mini tab. If you compare it to the left, it looks a little off kilter, off center. I can't unsee it. Now let's take a look at the left shoe. The back of it is misshapen, like it doesn't form straight up. It leans to the left like it's hunching. Something went wrong when they were attaching the orange part to the white part. The orange heel cuts look relatively straight and even, but the white part just throws it off. Look at the white part where it has a sort of radial pattern of stitching. Looks fine on the right, but on the left, it's not evenly stitched on the lower part. It sinks into the orange too much. So yeah, they attached it wrong. This pair of shoes looks like they were training their their employees to put together a shoe for the first time and just let it be sold to the public because they knew that a fool like me was going to buy it. In general, the back on the right looks better, but it's not perfect. The left is just horrendous. However, it is probably not that noticeable once you're wearing them, or at least I hope it's not. There's even a small hole on the lateral side of the right shoe where presumably that's where a stitch was going to be. It looks like a stitch hole. I expect glue stains where the midsole meets the upper. There are glue stains in the rear here on the right shoe and left shoe of their medial sides. You can also see some stuff on the right shoe's white sections on the midfoot of both the lateral and medial sides. They couldn't have cleaned the stains up before they dried or before they were done with their quality control inspection. This is just mass production. Who gives a flying duck? You know people are still going to buy Dunks. This is why Nike can get away with this. Overall, the craftsmanship is awful. The material quality isn't great either, but the colorway is the best part of it. Honestly, you're wearing this to get eyes on your feet. You can get better insoles to increase comfort. I don't believe these shoes will look great as they get worn since the materials are fairly stiff. I'm saying that they'll probably get odd creases, but they'll look fresh when new. A person walking near you or even sitting with you probably won't notice the flaws, but only you will know about the shoe's issues. They look nice due to the colorway, but the quality is awful. But bad pizza still tastes good.